So we're back. Last time I spoke a little bit about multiplying fractions, right? And we even kind of introduced the idea of a mixed number, a chain of fractions, right? This never works. All right, times c over d times e over f, times goes on, right? And any of these can be a mixed number, right? I also wanted to mention what we went over in class today. As you can see, the date, it's August 6th. Um, I stressed a little bit more about implementing the various concepts, right? So we once discussed the idea of dividing by a fraction. So if you divide by a fraction, you multiply by its reciprocal, right? That's short for multiply. Multiply by its reciprocal or inverse. Reciprocal. Right. Okay. And this can be interchangeable with inverse, right? Correct. Inverse. I'm so sloppy. I'm sorry, you guys. Forgive me. So, when we said we have, say, a fraction, or a multiplication of a chain of fractions, I'm making them up as I go along. 3/8. That's 3/8, you guys. 3/8, right? We simply multiply across, and that's it, right? Not a bad deal. And again, for my friends there's a few of many people. There's several people that I come across that confuse the idea of finding the LCD. No, LCD is not used when multiplying and dividing fractions. It's only really reserved for adding and subtracting fractions, right? So you're not trying to find an LCD. So we can multiply across, right? And we'll get some type of number over over some type of number, right? And you can even reduce in the meantime, right? Okay. Now, say if I had instead. Let me go back. Let me stop a little bit. Okay. And then we also talked about, and we discussed a little bit about multiplying by a fraction. So if I have a whole number divided by a fraction, 2/6, that's 1/3. But oh well. This is off the top of my head. 7. So we said we divide by a fraction, you multiply by its reciprocal. So I guess the difficulty here is to really understand what you're seeing, to comprehend what you're seeing. I noticed that's where the difficulty and the issue lies with a lot of students. So to understand where the fraction begins, right? You're not technically looking over at 7/2 divided by 6, which you can, but you should actually, or you should tactically look at it and view it as 7 divided by 2/6. So the fraction is here, you guys, right? And we can go ahead and carry that process out. We said divide by a fraction, you multiply by its reciprocal. So if we're dividing 7 by a fraction of 2/6 or 1/3, right? You're gonna go ahead and multiply. Darn it, this is messing up on me. By the reciprocal or the inverse. So you're gonna flip that fraction, right? And you can think of this as 7/1. So what you have now is 7 times. I'm gonna reduce this 3, right? Which is essentially 21, right? Okay, cool. So now I'm going to kind of incorporate this idea with the idea of this dividing by a fraction and mixed numbers. Remember we said a mixed number is written something like this, 1 3/4, right? It's a whole with a fraction, and it can be converted into, so this is a mixed number, right? And it can be converted into a improper fraction, right? So, and that's what we discussed in class today. So let's kind of put everything together. So if I have, say, 1/2, I don't know why I continuously start with 1/2, but hey, it's intuitive. There has to be something going on in my head thinking half of something. So 1/2, say, times 3/7/6, right? Well, we can do that. You just have to take it. It looks intimidating. That's what I'm trying to say. It looks intimidating, but what you have to realize is that you have to take this step by step. And the first step, I would think, would be to convert the mixed number here, or not the mixed number, but the there's no conversion. I'm sorry. What you would do is take the reciprocal, right? So 1/2 can stay consistent, right? But notice that you are dividing 3 by 7 divided by 6, or 7/6, right? So take the reciprocal of 7/6 and multiply it by 3. 3 times 6/7, right? Because we're dividing by a fraction, so we multiply by its reciprocal. Now, and this equals this guy. This equals down here. Wow, look at all these arrows. Jeez. I'm a sloppy, you guys. I apologize. Wow. I'm disgusting to myself. Okay, so we can now figure this out and simplify this. 6 times 3 is 18 divided by 7, right? And then now we have something that is a little bit more manageable, and we can reduce here. So 2 goes into 18 how many times? 9 times. So, and this is 1/1, so you're left with 9/7, right? Or 7 and 3/9, or 3/7, right? No, I'm sorry, 1 and 3/7, right? Except 1 and 2/7. 1 and 2/7, right? Yeah. And that's actually a mixed number right here. So if the instructions say to convert it into its mixed number format, well, why not? Just take 7 and a 9, 1, right? 7, 2. Take the quotient here, right? And add the remainder divided by the divisor, right? Or the dividend. It's divisor. Cool. So you would have that as in a mixed number format. Okay, cool. Now, if we had this, let's take it a little deeper, right? Say, let's go something a little bit less than. I mean, let's get out of the 1. Let's get away from using 1. So we say 5 divided by 1 and 2/8. Actually, you know what? I want to make this a little bit more difficult for my amusement. 2 and say 1/2, right? Times what? 3 and 1/3, and my impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger doing math. About 5 and 2/8. No, 1/4. 2/8 is 1/4, you guys. I don't know why I do that all the time. Say 2 and 1/5, right? It's probably gonna be a deep number, but let's go for it, right? We can at least understand what we're seeing. So I have a mixed number divided by another mixed number times a mixed number divided by another mixed number, right? Know that. So the first thing we'll do is convert. Convert what exactly? Convert the mixed number into an improper fraction, right? By the way, I normally write sloppy, so I can no longer use the excuse of the pen, because I'm kind of gotten used to it. So I apologize. I really do. Anyways, how do we convert a mixed number? We multiply. Here, I'll write it down here again. It's A, the general formula, right? A plus C over D, right? Equals to AD plus C over D, right? So we're taking the product of A and D, these two guys, and adding C to that, and then dividing by D, right? So here, or is it the first one? It's messing up. The product of A and D is 2 times 2, right? And then you add 1, right? So the product 4 plus 1 is 5, right? 2 times 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, divided by D, which is 2. 8 times 1 is 8, so the product of A and D, plus this guy, so 8, 10, right? 8. Oh god, I did that again, like it's supposed to be a 1/4. I was wondering why. That's 10/8, but we can reduce that. We'll reduce that shortly. 3 times 3, right? 3 times 3, 9 plus 1 is 10 thirds, right? So, and D is this guy right here. D is this guy. So 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 is 26 over 5. Now we have fraction divided by a fraction times a fraction divided by a fraction. Now we can kind of induce or implement that next rule that we have when we say, hey, you divide by a fraction, you're going to multiply by its reciprocal. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and reduce this. So 5 over 2, I'm going to take the reciprocal of that, right? And we have a common factor of 2 between these, so this will be 4/5, right? Here, 10/8, just so you guys can see, right? That's 2 times 5, 2 times 4, right? Cancel out 2's, so we have 5/4 on under, right? So we're dividing by 5/4, so we're going to multiply by the reciprocal of 5/4, which is 4/5. Well, that worked out pretty nice. Not bad, right? Right. So that's this first fraction, right? Now we need to go ahead and handle the next fraction. Let me get away from here so you guys can see it. Clean it up. Right? Okay. So that the next one we have over here is 10 thirds. I should be neater. I owe you guys that. 10 thirds times 5 over 26. Man, that's a big number. Okay. Well, wait, we can do it, right? We are the as you can see, my brother left me a Facebook post. Let's ignore that. But anyways, I was gonna say we are math troopers, right? Hey, that's a pretty good catch now. Math troopers or troopers of math. Woo-wee! Yeah, make some shirts. Math army. It'll be Kiss Army. Yeah, no, never mind. I'm amusing myself. So we can reduce 5, right? Here. Oh, we can even reduce 2 goes into 4 how many times? 2, right? So this side we have 2. And we're going to multiply. Let's see if we can do anything here. That's going to be 13. So common factors here is going to be 5, right? And 13. We've eliminated the 2, right? Or we've canceled out 2. 2 times 5, 2 times 13, right? Okay. So we have 5 over 3 times 5 over 13. Ooh, jeez. I don't know what happened here. Okay. And this one is so much easier. So much more agreeable with us. Alright, so we have 25 over 39, right? And these are made up on the spot, on the fly. I kind of do that in class too. I'm really happy to do math. 30, 39, right? 2 times 25? 50. Ooh, 50. 50 over 39. Right, cool. So now you guys know how to work with mixed numbers, and you know what to do when you divide by fractions. And that's why I always say, by the way, multiplication and division kind of go hand in hand, right? Because when we are dividing by a fraction, we simply modified that entire expression and was able to go from division to multiplication, right? So they work well with each other. They're usually like reverse processes and whatnot. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. Okay, so I want to get into. Let me see how much time I have. Let's see what's going on. How much time I have? 16 minutes. Okay, I want to stop right there. Yeah, I'll stop right there. And the next video for sure will be adding fractions and again implementing these rules. And then we can get into order of operations and how to work those, and then we can start introducing exponents. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, so I'll see you guys next video.